The observation deck of the Kepler 442b research station hummed with its usual sterile efficiency. Through the reinforced polymer windows, the alien world stretched endlessly, a landscape of bioluminescent forests that pulsed with rhythms no human could naturally perceive. Melissa Torres pressed her palm against the cool glass, her neural interface flickering data across her vision: atmospheric composition, radiation levels, indigenous life form classifications. She had been on this exoplanet for 8 months now, cataloging the xenofauna for the Interstellar Biology Consortium. Most specimens were logged, tagged, and released. But this place, this world 1,200 light-years from Earth, still managed to surprise her. "Dr. Torres, you're needed in Containment Bay 3, the station's AI announced, its voice perfectly modulated to avoid startling anyone. Melissa turned from the window, her boots magnetizing to the deck plates as she walked through the corridor. The artificial gravity felt lighter here than Earth's, set at 0.87 g to match the planet's pull. She found Daniel Chen already in the bay, his face illuminated by the glow of holographic readouts. Daniel was the station's xenobiological engineer, responsible for maintaining the environmental systems that kept both humans and alien specimens alive in this isolated research outpost. His hands moved through the hologram with practiced precision, adjusting parameters. "What do we have?" Melissa asked, approaching the containment field. Inside the shimmering energy barrier, a small creature lay curled on the biobed. It resembled what ancient Earth might have called a feline, but its 6 legs and crystalline fur that refracted light into rainbow patterns marked it as distinctly alien. The creature, they had designated its species Felinae crystallis, was only a juvenile, no larger than a house cat. "One of the survey drones found it near the northern ridge," Daniel explained, pulling up footage on his wrist display. "Looks like it got caught in a silicon thorn thicket. Its front left appendage is badly damaged." Melissa watched the cub struggle, its paw wrapped in a crude emergency bandage, probably applied by the drone's automated first aid system. The bandage was already soaked through with a luminescent fluid she recognized as the creature's blood analog. Around them, other researchers had gathered, watching through the containment field with clinical detachment. "Has anyone tried to properly treat it?" Melissa asked. Silence answered her. Dr. Yamamoto, the lead xenobiologist, finally spoke. "Protocol dictates minimal intervention with juvenile specimens. We document, we observe. The mother might still return for it. And if she doesn't," Melissa's voice was sharp, "we just watch it die." "We're scientists, Dr. Torres, not veterinarians," Yamamoto replied coldly. "This isn't Earth. We don't know enough about their physiology to risk invasive procedures." Melissa looked back at the cub. Its breathing was rapid, shallow, universal signs of distress that transcended planetary origins. The creature's large eyes, compound structures that could probably see into the infrared spectrum, fixed on her. In that moment, she saw past the alien biology to something fundamental: suffering. "Daniel," she said quietly, "can you modulate the containment field to allow medical access?" He hesitated, glancing at Yamamoto. The senior scientist's expression was unreadable. "Dr. Chen, I wouldn't advise," Yamamoto began. "Just do it," Melissa interrupted. "Log it as my responsibility." Daniel's fingers danced across his neural interface. The containment field shimmered, creating an opening large enough for Melissa to reach through. She grabbed a medical kit from the wall dispenser, designed primarily for human use but stocked with universal antiseptics and synthetic tissue scaffolds. "You'll need these," Daniel said suddenly, handing her a pair of specialized gloves. "Nanomesh. They'll prevent cross-contamination and give you tactile feedback through your neural link." Melissa met his eyes. There was something there, not quite defiance but a quiet understanding. He was helping her break protocol. She pulled on the gloves, feeling them bond seamlessly to her skin. Through the neural interface, She could sense the cub's elevated body temperature, the electromagnetic pulses it emitted, possibly a form of communication with its species. Carefully, Melissa reached into the containment field. The cub flinched but didn't attack. Its crystalline fur felt strange under her gloved hands, hard and soft simultaneously, like touching structured light. She began unwrapping the soiled bandage, revealing the damaged appendage beneath. The injury was worse than she'd expected. 3 of the 6 digital pads were torn, exposing the biometallic bone structure underneath. These creatures had evolved with trace metals in their skeletal system, an adaptation to this planet's mineral-rich environment. "Daniel, I need the nanosuture kit," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. He was already moving, retrieving the advanced medical tool from the surgical cabinet. The nanosuture device used programmable matter to bond tissue at the molecular level, technology that had revolutionized human medicine and might just work on alien physiology. As Melissa worked, she explained her process aloud, partly for the recording system, partly for her own focus. The cellular structure is remarkably similar to collagen-based tissues, despite the crystalline exterior. The nanosutures should recognize the protein chain's end. The device hummed, its microscopic robots weaving through the damaged flesh. The cub tensed, letting out a sound that was part chirp, part harmonic resonance, pain expressed in frequencies that made Melissa's teeth ache. "Almost done," she whispered, surprised to find herself speaking to the creature as if it could understand. Around her, the other researchers had fallen completely silent. Even Yamamoto watched with what might have been grudging interest. Melissa reached for the final component, biosynthetic bandaging material that could adapt to different tissue types. But the standard issue wrapping wouldn't work on crystalline fur. It would either slide off or damage the delicate structure. Her eyes scanned the medical supplies, then stopped. On Daniel's workbench sat spools of flexible graphene filament, material he used for repairing environmental seals and sensor arrays. The carbon structure was strong, biocompatible, and could be programmed to contract or expand. "Daniel, the graphene filament, can you cut me a section?" He understood immediately, using a laser cutter to create strips of the material. Melissa took them, her neural interface calculating the precise tension needed. She wrapped the cub's paw carefully, the graphene conforming perfectly to the crystalline fur without crushing it. The material's natural conductivity might even help the creature's electromagnetic communication systems remain functional during healing. As she tied off the final loop, the cub's breathing steadied. It looked at its bandaged paw, then at Melissa, and made a soft trilling sound, something almost like gratitude. "Remarkable," someone murmured behind her. Melissa withdrew her hands from the containment field, and Daniel resealed it. She pulled off the nanomesh gloves, her hands trembling slightly from the adrenaline. Dr. Yamamoto approached, his expression unreadable. "That was unorthodox, Dr. Torres, but effective. I'll note it in my report." It wasn't quite approval, but it wasn't censure either. Daniel caught her eye and smiled, a small, genuine expression that said more than words could. In that moment, as the cub curled up on the biobed, its newly bandaged paw tucked protectively beneath its body, Melissa felt something shift. They were light years from home, surrounded by the unknown but compassion, the impulse to ease suffering, that was universal. "Monitor its vitals hourly," she instructed, "and Daniel, thank you." As the other researchers dispersed, Melissa returned to the observation window. Outside, the alien forest continued its bioluminescent dance. Somewhere out there, perhaps a mother searched for her cub. Tomorrow, if the creature stabilized, they might be able to reunite them. But tonight, they had done something more important than observe. Tonight they had cared.